Right, welcome to the final day. Even though the training ends, our relationship will continue. There is a lot more that happens after this, which I'll share. But well done, whether you're catching up on the recording, whether you have joined live, you made it to the end. That's an important thing. That too, as the founding or the inaugural members of the AI Bootcamp. So very well done on that. So what I'll do today is just to quickly give you few things that just as a quick wrap up that you could take with you, and then you go. The most important thing is you were the early adopters on this, right? April, March, when we launched live in April, when we started the course, or even end of March when we started this course, people were still, you had the AI observers, you had the bid survivors, as they call it, and then you have one or two people like you who made the decision, you know what, I'm going to explore this world. I don't know exactly what is this, but I'm going to make a decision to explore this world. And, I'm so happy, pleased for you, because you are one of the very few who have done it. Today, AI changes every day. And, even yesterday, you might have seen Google went ballistic, on their board. Now Google has their own Google Chrome update, and also the search engine optimization, etc. So the world is totally being democratized at the moment, which is super happy, which makes me super happy. So what that meant is people like you who already joined the journey now will be able to embrace more and more and position yourself in forward. So again, you are there. But companies and others are making difficult decisions because, hey, what they are saying that is okay. You know what? Some companies are asking people, hey, employees, because most employees use it anyway. Hey, are you using it? If so, how are you using it? And some are getting stuck in the AI regulation policies, etc. But if you or any of your colleagues or the clients that you support are looking for any AI risk framework, checklist, etc., let us know, because we have created few companies. What that meant is, what can be, what can't be possible. That's been dictated by your own company, but at least you could see what others are doing, right? So that's there. So well done you, because you are in this elite pool of people. So where we started, as you can see, in March 20, we took 6-week program into 8-week program, as you know, because we want to give more, because we just want to give you that confidence that anything, that every part of your business winning life cycle is possible. So we are testing it with marketing more and more now. But again, while I say that, the disheartening thing is, even within my team, the adoption is very low. People edit the videos, people upload it into the learning portal, etc. But I was expecting a few of them will be excited about the tools that I talk about, the training, and they go and find a cool way of editing things. Now, these videos that we're talking about, you could use a lot of Summit and other tools to just summarize, make some shorts and do that, but nothing has been happening even within my team. So what you might face as challenges, it's some people will move very, very quickly, like you, me, others, but others will be very slow. So they know this is what they have to do, but even asking them to use AI, simple ChatGPT, to write a response, to just answer the question, they might not even try. It's happening within my team, and be very honest, and which means it will happen very much on the other side, which is good. What that meant is these are the people who will be facing a very tough life. So because at the moment we know speed is of the essence, right? So we covered a lot. Pre-proposal, which is capture. We talked RFP shredding. We also created baseline responses, 4 or 5 scenario, 4 or 5 questions, how we could, pretty much write everything, even without knowing much about the tender itself. Just to add the details, add the question, and then add the service specification, all the technical elements about the thing, and then it automatically creates a baseline content quickly, which means you don't need to even add your own confidential information. You simply ask the question that the client asked, but add the context and you just go. Then we looked at MidJourney for graphics. We didn't spend much time on Canva and Adobe and Otherfly, because I'm not a graphics person. And again, but there is tools there for you to go and do more. We went just with MidJourney, but that's one there. Solution development, we looked into not just the traditional solution development or storyboarding that we called. We looked into some of the frameworks, which is very unique, that helps not just on writing your articles and blogs, but also your executive summary and also the key questions, responses, etc. So that it comes in, it could be FOMO framework or ADA framework, or we talked about storyboard framework, etc. It's not storyboard, storyboard. All those things are super useful. Then we looked into, okay, fine, now I already have this content. How am I going to feed in some of the content that I already have to fine tune it and do editing? As you know, we also tried it. Okay, one of the things, the bias that you'll find in the AI tools is it's American English, and which means you're using UK English. You don't need to prompt it in the UK English. Otherwise, it will write in American English. But again, when you add it into Word document, Word, you can quickly go back and use the editor there and then convert that into a thing. It's not rocket science, but that's a small thing. Again, bias in a way that, images also, there is also something that's happening. But again, gradually we are moving on. We were just done it. Then we looked into how you can also use it to help yourself, mastering your time, your team, etc. We looked at BidBuddy Journal, and we also looked at some of the other things. And finally, we looked at presentations. Presentation was interesting because the slides that I had for presentation, when I looked into what ChatGPT already knows about it, I felt like my slides are totally useless now, because it's like ChatGPT actually knows a lot about how to do oral sales presentation and so many other stuff. So again, use it as a swipe file. We will do that. And today we are here in our final week. So what the team will do is a team will send you a link. This is a feedback form. So let me stop the share. It is just 10 questions. So primarily it just goes here. Stop it. I'll find it for you, then I'll send it. I'll add it in the chat. So while I'm talking, maybe you could do it. It only takes 1 minute or so for you to do. Okay, this is a feedback form. Just be honest and tell us, because I know we could have done a lot better, but there is always a starting point. Just share what is it. I've just put it on the chat box. It's only going to take a minute for you. So while I talk, you can just do it. So what we have here is this. You are the founding members, so which means I kept it fluid, because the reason we made it 8 weeks is because I just want to give you the assurance that anything is possible with an AI, but you just start with what you can. So primarily, we got some good feedbacks from you, questions from you. So how we can shape this going forward. Next courses onwards, it's only going to be 6 weeks. And also we have condensed a lot of material just so that we can be slightly more sharper. So it won't be as what we call relaxed and engaging like what we're doing. So speed, people, the conversations are over now. AI versus human, AI is doing bad things. Human is going to lose the job. And so I'm not even going to talk about those things. It's going to be AI plus human, and the adoption is happening much, much faster than we think. And speed will be of essence, which means the number of volume of proposals that you're going to do will be very high. Because you can see companies like the proposal automation companies have come in and say, hey, we have also added AI functions into that, etc. Simply, they are this knowledge library. So if you add answers into their repository, it just finds you it's nothing. So what that meant is it will be very interesting. Will companies continue to pay thousands and thousands of pounds to use them, or I can just go tender by tender on this, and I could create a small API with this, which means I'm not spending as much. Plus, I have the full AI powered with ChatGPT, Microsoft tools, or Google tools. So it will be very interesting. So again, as he told you, your creativity is your creativity. At every level, you could go and do it. I only have done this, but there is a lot more for your emails, your meetings, anything on a day-to-day basis that clutters your life, you could use it to solve. So we are using it for marketing, we're using it for press release, we're using it to create ads, you name it. It's all yours. So there are so many stuff that we talked about it, because at a very minimum, always check what ChatGPT knows about your company, about your client, about your competitor, about your tender. That's the main thing. You need to ask it different way. Okay, ask it this. But the other way of looking into that is, prompt ChatGPT in a way that says, hey, I just want you to act as a ChatGPT, and to just let ChatGPT know what could be the best prompt for solving this issue for me. So you can ask ChatGPT to write a prompt that's going to help you to write it back to ChatGPT so that it answers in a most effective way. So which means there is a new industry called prompts marketplace that popping out. So use this prompt, use that prompt, etc. But personally, you know what, it's going to be unique to you. You are going to use some standard prompts that you like, that's going to help you in your own tone, in your own style, that you're going to work, your own personality, etc. But always ask ChatGPT, okay, what is value proposition? What is this? How do you do this? How do you do that? What's the prompt I should use? And what context should I have to add to get the best response, etc. Even before you get a bid, use those questions and check, okay, this is how I'm going to structure it. What that meant is, now your context is very clear, what prompts you're going to go is very clear, then use that same consistent prompt. Use the same prompt and answer this question, answer this question, answer this question, which means you're going to get consistent response as you go forward. So this is what I told about. Tell ChatGPT your intention, then feed relevant information, which is the question, or if you are repurposing content, it is. Then you give multiple prompts to just say, use in these characters. Yes, you can use one big prompt. I want you to do it in this way, in that format, etc. But just keep it. Your first context, then content. This is what we talked about as a prompt. So act as a role. Act as a proposal writer, write an update, what you want specifically to do, and how long you want to do, and what product or what service, and make it in XY style. So, and once your style is fixed, and once your character limit is fixed, you simply need to act as a proposal writer, for X company, write a response in 60, that write a response for this character, that character, etc. So fix the prompt. And if I were you, I would go back, as I told you, I will just say, hey, I need to write a tender on this particular context, which is, this is the bid. It's fine. You need to know, it's not confidential or anything, right? You are checking or ChatGPT. This is the federal government tender that I'm going to work on, and this is the tender about. Ask, this is the context, and I'm going to write a proposal from this company. So how do I approach this? What prompt should I have to use? What context do you need to ensure that the proposal is very compelling and persuasive, and so. So those are the foundational aspects. Anything more, as I told you, you just go this here, and then you feed relevant information, you expand, you reduce, concise, compelling, persuasive, this style, that style, and you keep going. The other one is, try to use it to save your life as well. So many of these things, that's what we looked at activity inventory. I thought I'll also add it. So when it comes to tools, I've given some tools here. Obviously, I use a lot of tools, but again, I don't want to overwhelm you. But you just need to be curious, because the competition between Google and Microsoft, they are now pretty much going to monopolize the next 2-3 years. And what that meant is Google suites of products. So, when was it? May 15th, which is a Thursday evening, I talked about Compose AI, where Compose AI is an email tool, where any email you just write. If you missed the AMA session, the Ask Me Anything AI tool session Thursday, you could catch up on the recording. So it's there on, if you follow Batch Scribble, you can get that. So I introduced some of the tools, and I also shared about some of the AI risk frameworks and a few other things. And I do know that 2 of the guys who have created language models also were there. So I told them about how kind of the narrative of what's possible, what not possible will continue to be muddled, because there are vested interest in the industry, which they will continue to because this is totally going to disrupt their way of working. It could be technology people or big consulting companies. If they don't want to adopt it, if they want to continue to charge people, X amount of money for doing something that ChatGPT can do in like 60 seconds, good luck to them. So those are the people, and also some tech companies who have invested, they will be pulling it back, saying, that we are safe. This is copyright, that's etc. But you can already set up your privacy features offline, and you can do this. And Bard is much more smarter. That got released 2 days ago. Again, I've started to use Bard for tenders, not as much as ChatGPT, but it's the responses are interesting because Bard is much more, I won't say overly ethical in a mean, like if you ask it for something, it will most probably say, no, I can't give you the answer, So, but Bard is now connected to websites and stuff. As you know, ChatGPT announced, OpenAI announced yesterday, over the weekend, that they are now connecting to the websites as well. So which means it will be purely online. So the game has begun. So Google, with the power of its websites, now coming back, made it smarter on this side, ChatGPT, and also Bing search, which used to be the top two, Bard was the third. Now they are also ready for the battle. So you are going to find what they call plugins after plugins, and you are going to file Chrome extensions after Chrome extensions, and it's going to make it very, very interesting. So just as a simplifying thing, what are the AI tools that I suggest you go deeper? Is this obviously ChatGPT? So yeah, but again, you can see what you might not realize is ChatGPT, when you go there, they are removing the legacy part, but there is two options now. One is the $20 option and the free option, or when you subscribe to the normal one, you always get it. But what you won't realize is within the 3.5, which is the fast version, there are 4 different options within it, the DaVinci's and few other versions. What that meant is those are 4 different bots within ChatGPT. They have their different reasoning skill, different speed, and then different capabilities. So if you have spare time, I know if you get a response, good responses, go with the response, just to see, if you change the ChatGPT options and you ask the same question, it will answer differently. Similarly, if you don't use it in one thread, and if you go back and ask it in a different thread, it's going to answer differently. So ChatGPT definitely one, and it's going to be there for a long time because of Microsoft things. Wait for Copilot to come in, then it's going to be game changer, totally game changer, which means you're going to get a lot of work for tenders, because people will realize, they know that you could speed up, but whether you speed up yourself is a different story. But the expectations will be, okay, this is a 50 response question, fine, 1 week. You can't just say, I'm going to spend 1 hour or 3 questions a day and interview the subject matter experts, etc. It's going to be very challenging in the next 3 months to justify those sort of things, because it's when Copilot comes in, as you know, your Word document, your PowerPoint, your Excel, SharePoint, OneNote, Outlook, it all will be connected. So the moment you get an email, automatically meetings will trigger, Microsoft Premium will trigger. It's going to be very clever. But again, Microsoft will not optimize for you. You need to optimize yourself, and you're going to find a lot of good tools that's going to come in, that's going to play in those elements. And we are going to do that ourselves. That's what Microsoft 365 is there. MidJourney is now overly popular, but again, most of the big people, they don't use it. They still use their own Canvas, Microsoft Design, InDesign, and Adobe and etc. Adobe Firefly, I haven't looked into that because I don't have Adobe license. We don't use Adobe, but if you want, that is something I've just given. So ChatGPT definitely, Microsoft 365, if you're using it on parallel, Google Bard, and then with Microsoft 365, similar, you have the Google Sheets, Google Docs, etc. They will be connected, or they're already connected to Google Bard as of yesterday. So you will need to see what that means to you. So both Microsoft suite of products, Microsoft OpenAI, Google Bard, and Google Docs, Sheets, etc. Definitely, if you are using it. Quillbot, we use Quillbot. Again, there's a typo. It's not double T, it's one T. Quillbot, it's only $99. So if you need to optimize or formalize anything, you can just add it more, because now these tools existed when ChatGPT was in 3.5, which means, yeah, the answer was like kind of rough, but now more and more behind the scenes, they are working on the learning models, they're improving, but still $99, you're not going to lose anything. It's for 1 year. So you can just add it inside, especially the website articles and stuff, we use it because Jasper is there. Jasper and Content at Scale, these are the two other tools that we use for websites. The challenge is, as he told you, even my team is not using them. It's super annoying because even though you can put Content at Scale and Jasper to just find the right SEO keywords, to just use the right articles, to do things, they don't get in. So I just left it. So ChatGPT, then if you want to normalize it with Quillbot. WordTune is another tool like Grammarly. It just stays next to you when you are having any text messages or if you're sending LinkedIn messages, or if you're sending emails, etc. WordTune just comes up as a little dot and it helps you, to answer it very, very quickly. So GPT plugins and Bard Chrome extensions, we covered a lot of them because one of the thing is RFP shredding, the plugin, the chat PDF wasn't great. So chat doc and Xmagic, use them. Upload a document and then you can chat with those documents. It's super good. Firefly is a separate ChatGPT based tool. You can do the same thing as a meeting. It's similar to Otter, what Christina has at the moment, and who's also listening to this conversation. So primarily those tools, they just listen to the meetings. Descript is also one which we looked into. As a Descript is a standalone all-in-one stuff. So it does everything. It does writing, it does video, and it also does images and audios and so many stuff. So Descript is massive, but I didn't include that. I know that's a bit complex, like MidJourney. So if you don't know, but that's just there. So grammar-wise, definitely ChatGPT or Bard or Quillbot, WordTune. That's it. Job done. When it comes to the other tools. If you use Otter, meetings-wise is good. Microsoft Teams, definitely. But then transcript you get from there. But I've been told it's good, but for some reason, as I told you last week, I'm still struggling to use the premium version myself for some reason. But Firefly is amazing. But if you do want to have okay, I've created a content, I'm a bit concerned because I've used AI, but if I want to, even before I submit it, I just want to have a quick sense check on this, you can use the GPT-0. It's free. Add your question in and then say, this is whether this is AI based. It will tell you, you used Bard, you used ChatGPT, you use XYZ, and then it works from there, right? Okay, perfect. So then you have few other tools. The tools I use a lot of tools, a lot of plugins, but there are two other tools that I kind of thought amazing. One was Glasp, which as I told in the AMA session, if you do get your customer or anybody who's doing a debrief session uploaded in YouTube, or you uploaded it, or you're watching a video that you wish there is some titles or subtitles or some transcripts around it, YouTube Glasp does it automatically for you. It's amazing. So two things will happen. One is it also gives you, if you talk properly, then your notes will be very clear. If you talk like me, then obviously your notes will be very bad. So you can use that one, to understand if your client has done a presentation, you can simply upload it in YouTube, keep it private, then open up Glasp, which means it just does a transcript for you in no time. So we use Descript. If you upload a video to Descript also does it for you, but you can use this one. So what that meant is once you click on Glasp, then every tool, every video that you're watching, it automatically does it for you. And then finally is the Deck to Pass, the slide creator. You just add one keyword, and then it finds what are the topics people are talking about that, and then it automatically creates content for you. Especially for creating bite courses and stuff within Scribble, we use this. Very, very simple. But again, a frustrating part is it's just only me. My team still use the old school way of if I give them the topic, they go and search, and then they do it in a hard way. People don't realize that that's a different world. So tools, that's the tools. It's enough for you. ChatGPT, if you're already using it, use it day to day. Google Bard, if you're a Google product, Google Bard, then update it. Quillbot if you need it. Some Chrome extensions are coming up just to simplify your thing. It's there. And otherwise, GPT-0, if you want to double check before you submit whether it's AI, etc. As I told you in the AMA session, these days the tools are very, very good. ChatGPT response, or Bard's response, or a Quillbot's response is very, very good, that it's impossible for you to detect AI anymore. So very soon, maybe not now, but maybe by September-ish or something, people will give up even talk about AI detector. It just becomes a normal practice. So that's it. Be curious and do what you're doing. Again, you are where you are. So there's a slightly more. Once you learn yourself, share it, and then see what you can do. And then gradually you just optimize it. This is a kind of an enterprise corporate thingy. As I told you, it has 3 steps to it. Number 1 is you need to learn. Second, you need to share, which means you just need to ensure that what you learned, you just need to share it to your colleagues or the clients, etc., so that they also are at the same level as you. Then you just go and optimize your process and say, okay, these are the stuff that works for me. How about you? How about you? How about you? And then you just create where you could optimize AI. Then you collectively come out with this. Then finally you go for the AI APIs and stuff, which I told in the AMA session, because people are already jumping on it and say, hey, now ChatGPT is very secure. We want to create an instance of ChatGPT within our company, and we want to put all the collateral in it and start to write responses. I'll just ask them, okay, what do you know ChatGPT can be used for? Obviously, they don't know. So people, as always, are jumping from zero to totally unknown area, like, the tool can solve everything. It won't, because as you know, we all are scratching the surface here. What we are using it is for the basics. It's only the use cases, the challenge that you're getting. It depends on that. You just go and use it. It could be tender, it could be presentations, it could be emails, it could be meetings, it could be anything, it could be anything, but that's where we are. So again, this is the 3rd step. First, familiarize yourself, then share it. And then if it's something that's repeatable, then you just say, okay, these are the AI automated thing, as I did it here. So stage 1 is market analysis, option identification. Then you just, with human touch, you just refine it. Then your team just building relationship, this can't do. Then you just go on for each of your session. So at the end of the webinar, it's the same thing, it's the same thing. Mindset shift, that's it. You have an AI friend. So support wise, we will be continuing to add inputs in our Circle platform. If you haven't joined Circle, join in. But again, this is something that's happening. Again, I should be very active on this. But I'm there at least weekly once. So if there is anything that you need, you can add this here. If you haven't joined, please do join, so that it's easy. You can search for Circle, bachu.circle.co. So that's where we are adding all any other information, updates and stuff, just to declutter the emails. A workbook is there. Your recording is available for you. You have lifetime access to the course. So if you want to have one place to write it, you can use this bit of Bootcamp in the PDF one. Write, oh, these are the tools. This is what I'm learning, etc. That's just one place that you could do it. It's continue to do that. Congratulations, your certificate will be released today, tomorrow. Again, with or without your photo, depending on what you've asked for. Again, team will be reaching out to you. Free resources always there. If you follow us on YouTube, all the videos are updated. We have even put all of our podcast as well there, so you could do that one. LinkedIn is there, yeah, we also do updates there. Connect is what we talked about it. Scoop is our newsletter. So what we are doing here is weekly ones, all the tools that I write it personally myself on a Friday. So all the tools that I go and I'll just go and have a look, and then I'll say, okay, do this, etc. Again, It might be a good read, but whether you're going to use it, it's a different one. That's there. So the monthly updates, the AMI updates will still continue. So again, we had one just Thursday last week. You could see that. More than AI tools, I also scanned through most of the LinkedIn comments that comes in around this topic, and I answer it there because last week, if there was a question about, hey, I'm going to this conference next week, I'm finding a lot of sponsored sessions, what do I do? I just answered it there. There are a lot of tech roundtables and people are saying X, Y, Z, what do I do, etc. It's like, even though the questions are not coming directly to me, these are the questions that's there generally, and I answer it there, plus any other questions and any other tools that I use it there. So every month, I'm surprised month goes very quickly, and this session comes and hits me soon. So thanks to you, many people have said, it might be good to have an intensive class. So for Friday this week, we are starting an intensive proposal mastery. It goes for 4 half a day. So it's Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon around this time, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Then we also have a break and then we restart again. So it's like 2 to 3 hours on a daily basis, 3 hours minimum on a daily basis. Some of the topics are very similar, but there are few that are new. I will, once I lock the time and date for the new sessions, I'll invite you, right? So, which means your ongoing development is there, so it doesn't matter. This is a new course, etc. Doesn't matter. I mean, like you come in, and if anything has changed, it's more the merry. I'll invite you on this one. So some of the things is a new prompts that I found that is very useful, and then the ChatGPT hacks, some of the interesting hacks that you can use as well. Otherwise, some elements are very similar. At least 50-60% content will be similar, but then I might add 1 or 2 updates to it. That's not worth, but certain things will be fairly new. Is what I announced last week. We are going more and more on trainings because people have asked us, okay, fine, we all learn how to write, but now I have no idea how to write. How can we use ChatGPT? Can you do a writer course? Just not ChatGPT. We said yes, so we'll be launching it around once the mastery program finishes. We are going to launch that. So then the agency training again. Some people, I know some of you are part of the agency. There are some agencies in the UK, especially one-person bands, have this specifically, how can we use this? So we are going to use agency training. Just at the moment, we mix both agency and employees. So we are carving out to just say specifically agency-based training. How can these individual freelancers can help themselves with ChatGPT? Because they might be using it today, but how can they use it effectively on something? Then the other 3 are more and more, much more on the tech side, because the individuals are very interested to do that, but then they get stuck in, oh my God, what should be my AI governance? What should be my data governance? And then what should be the AI infrastructure, which means, do I need to connect it to something, etc. These are technical things, so it will be slightly technical plus some common sense towards it, more mainly for the IT people, and also the sales operations people who are kind of manage the systems like Salesforce or the proposal automation tools or knowledge managers, etc. Who don't actually work on the bed, but they are the gatekeepers of information. So that's it for them. June, after this one, the next boot camp will begin in June. Again, if you find it useful, let me know in the chat. I've added the feedback form. Depending on your feedback, we will see whether we have already reduced it to 6 weeks. Yes, so that you got a lot more out of it, but we just took some elements out and we're just keeping it there. Head of bidding is another thing, because a lot of changes has happened and there's a lot of entry-level programs that's there, but people have asked specifically, what I do to run a diverse team. They all are using ChatGPT. They all are using different, whatever they are doing, I don't know, but how am I going to survive? How am I going to keep going? These are some of the elements that we are looking in the short term, in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Only in September, we'll be releasing our API, which is like, okay, this is how You can use the Bachu API with ChatGPT. We'll also create a Bard's version as well. Once we get the API, then we can just create, okay, these are some of the stuff that you can do, which means you can confidently push in your data point. Then you could do the answer, then you could go for it. But personally, you can already do it from now. But some people think overly. You can do the privacy settings off and you could just do it now. But the tech people are involved, so we are going to launch it from that. So few boot camps, few trainings, special trainings, and a few stuff here. So, and that's where I thought on behalf of me and Kuku, I thought I'll thank you. Thank you all for everything. And please do continue your exciting adventure, as I told you, explore, because we have just entered, very interesting point here. And what you know last week is very different to what you know this week. And it's only because of you I was able to update as much as I do now. It's because of you. So that's good. And I also suggest that you do the same. Just go keep yourself updated, and we'll continue to add more and more content towards it. Otherwise, drop me a line. If you think, okay, I'm stuck in a bid, I'm doing a client bid, etc. We don't, we don't know where to start. How can I use this, etc. Drop me a line. We'll just see what we can do. And again, there will be inertia within your team. I know when I spoke to Angie last time, even Angie's team member was nervous. And Angie, everyone in my team is the same. They are pretty nervous. They don't want to change. They still want to use the old ways of working, which is really frustrating. But that's how, the early adopters like you will continue to adopt. Then you will find the next level of people. Then gradually everybody will come up in our journey. So that's the thing. Again, as I mentioned, the certificate will be released with you, and we close there. So any questions or anything, let me know. I've just posted the feedback in it, but anyway, team will send it personally to you as well, just so that you are there. Certificates will be released to you, and you have lifetime access to it. Join in, and if there is any other new course that we are adding it, we'll also add it to the portal so that you also have some access to it. Not everything, but we'll just add it, because team gets really confused. Where do I post this? Do I post it here or post it there? Because we haven't figured it out exactly one place for us to post all the content, because it's there. So that's it from me. Any questions or anything? Thank you for everything. Thanks for joining. You can come out. It's just a small meeting. And yeah, I know it was a long, I don't know. I can't believe we spent nearly 30 hours over 8 weeks. Some of you might joined early on, some joined every now and then. But let me know if you have any questions, or if you want to share anything and say, Pascal, you wasted my life for 6 weeks. It's never going to come back. I hate you. which is fine. Or I have no idea what you're talking about, but thanks, I'm now using it in my own way, which is also fine. You don't need to specifically use it in the way that I taught you. Just to go explore. Perfect. So thank you. Anything from you, John?
Yeah, I found the course incredibly helpful. I'm using ChatGPT pretty much every day with my work now, so it's been really interesting. Obviously, this is a new, exciting, piece of technology. So yeah, I think without this course, I wouldn't know where to begin using it. So very helpful.
Oh, thank you, John. Thank you, Angie. Thanks for dropping by on the last day. I hope you find it okay. I know you have many things to do. Okay, that's it. Thank you, Angie. Christina, anything from you?
I feel the same way that he was just saying. It gave me more confidence in just testing it out, because sometimes I'll get like frozen. I'm like, I don't know where to turn or where to start. So it helped me start that. And then I now use ChatGPT, the 4.0 version, every day. And it's incredibly helpful. And the company I work for is very open to using AI. We're a technology company, so yeah. I found the course to be extremely helpful. I'm going to continue to try to get I guess I should probably try and pay for a membership to MidJourney, but I haven't been able to test that because the free accounts were they're not doing any free accounts right now. But yeah.
That's it. Again, it's all the data cost, as he told you, because it's easy. But the more questions that you ask, the text base takes space itself. But image, you could imagine how much space it will take, right? So I think these companies are actually making a huge loss. But they are just going with the flow of okay, at one point they are going to make some money out of it. But that's it. Thank you, Christina. That's helpful. Angie, anything from you before we wrap up? And I'll see you in some other program soon. I can't hear you, Angie.
Is it working now?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Yes, it is.
A couple other tools that have been recently added to my toolbox is I use, hold on. One is Grammarly. Grammarly came out with their chat feature, which I've been using a lot just to improve text, and it's inline and convenient and like an add-in, Beskar, so super easy.
Yes.
The other one is, what's it called? Hold on, let me tell you. They actually send me prompts every day, AI prompts. Copy AI. I use it for marketing.
Yes.
But they send me prompts every day, and it's more from a marketing and sales perspective. But just, which to me is part of the hard thing is what should I ask it, or what can I even ask it? So I actually just created a folder in my Outlook for all these prompts that I'm getting. So when I'm stumped or need to go back to something, I can go back, because it's hard to remember in the time to go back to certain prompts. So those have been two tools that I've been using a lot in addition to chat, and I really do like Bard, just because I've been using it a lot for like project data and comparing projects, or project experience, I should say, and being able to use it since it's connected to the internet and goes back further than ChatGPT. So that's also been super helpful. So, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Angie. I mean, like, that's it. I mean, like, but what I realized is whatever I taught you or whatever I found useful in March, April is already gone. You just need to go and redo it. Or many of the tools that we talked about that might take a few hours, now take a few minutes because of the plugins and the extensions and stuff. So totally, I think if I find anything, I'll keep you posted. But thank you all. Thanks for joining, and thanks for all the inputs. And well done, everybody. And I'll speak to you very soon. Okay, have a good day.
Thank you, Beskar.
Thank you.
Bye.